Hello, I'm Willows. Welcome if you're new, and welcome back if you're a returning viewer. Today, I'm going to be turning my favorite animals into characters. If you are a returning viewer, you might already guess that I love designing humans based on non-human things, so I was really glad this option won the poll. Without further ado, let's get into the character designs. The first animal I chose was a whale shark. I love whale sharks, they're so pretty and such gentle giants. In my opinion, these animals are perfect. Is this opinion wrong? Probably. Y'all can correct me in the comments if need be, I wouldn't be surprised. I'm not super educated on any of my favorite animals, I kinda just pick favorites for their vibe, and her vibe is sweet old lady, so that's what I wanted to replicate. I gave her dress a really long train and some sleeves to try and replicate the fins, along with some dots and lines along the dress to mimic the pattern that whale sharks have. I thought that whale sharks lived mostly in the Philippines, but I ended up looking more into it after I finished the design, and it turns out the largest known population of whale sharks lives near Mexico, so that's my bad. If I had taken the time to research it prior instead of just assuming, I probably would have designed her accordingly, but I also think it's not unfair to have her be from the Philippines, given it's still number 2 in terms of whale shark population. Overall though, I'm pretty happy with how she turned out. I imagine she'd have a really pretty voice, great for telling stories. The second animal I chose was a panda. Like whale sharks, pandas are also gentle giants. Pandas have been my top favorite animal for as long as I can remember. They're so cute and fluffy and maybe a little basic, but I love them regardless. For his design, I definitely wanted to incorporate the black and white in a way that still felt relatively normal. My first thought was a suit, which is what I ended up going with, but if I had to go back and change it now, I'd probably have him in something more comfortable. He's got a bandage and a couple scrapes from being clumsy, and I gave him a bag because he'd definitely be like the dad friend, carrying around snacks and drinks for everybody, making sure they're taking care of themselves, that kind of stuff. The thing I struggled most with for his design was deciding between giving him mid-length hair or just leaving it with a buzz cut. I ended up going with the latter. I'm still not sure which one looks better regarding an interesting silhouette, but I went with buzz cut because it felt more like a panda. Like if I gave him longer hair, his design could pass as more like black and white cat inspired, if that makes sense. There's not a whole lot more to say about this one. His characterization came pretty easily to me, and I think he turned out pretty cute. The next animal I chose was an alligator. Very different from the previous two favorites, but when you spent a considerable amount of time in your childhood watching Gator Boys and swimming in a lake where a bunch of alligators live, you kinda just get used to it. Personally, I think they're adorable. They have a bad reputation, but they're not really any different than any of the other predators that people love, like bears or wolves. However, was I still going to portray this character as kinda evil despite being an avid alligator defender? Yes, it makes for a better character design, I'm sorry. Originally, I was going back and forth between making the character a guy or a girl, but then my brother came up to me and said that I can't just have one guy in the 4 characters that I'm doing, to which I replied, yes I can do whatever I want. So this character is a girl now. While I was thinking about what style I wanted her to have, I knew I either liked dark colors and alternative style or more of a southern/cowboy style. But I ended up finding this picture which I thought was absolutely perfect, so I used that for inspiration. I went with colors that were a little more dull for this one, along with a slightly thicker line art, which I think fit her well. Overall, I'm really happy with how she came out. The last animal I chose was a hyena. These ones, I'm not even sure why they're one of my favorites. They do kind of remind me of my dog though. They just give very silly energy, and before y'all come in the comments with all the atrocious things hyenas do, I already did a bunch of research and watched a couple different documentary videos on them. I know what they do. I don't care, I still love them. They're very interesting animals and they have adorable faces. For her design, I knew I wanted her to have a sort of punk style, but I haven't drawn it a lot, so I hope I did it justice. I struggled with the hair a bit in the beginning, but I thought about the fur tufts that hyenas have, and I decided to kind of use that as inspiration for her hair, and I think it turned out really cute. I loved giving her details like the scars, freckles, and the tooth gap. It made her feel really human in my opinion. Editing Willows here. You know what doesn't make her feel human? The fact that I completely forgot to give her ears until the very last second. Just ignore that for now, please. That being said, I think she's really cute. And that's all for the character designs. Let me know if you pictured the animals differently. I'd love to hear how you guys envision them. As always, I hope you enjoyed, and thank you so much for watching. Bye bye!